Good evening and welcome to the June 26th Lakeville Parks Commission meeting. LakeCAM is recording. Is there anybody else recording? Hearing none, we can start with our announcements. Peter, do we have any announcements?
I do not have any.
No announcements. Okay, number 2, Real Legacy Football Club. We're scratching that because they didn't turn in their form. So next is Eric Stanley for his football camp for the summer. He wants from 5:30 to 7 on Monday nights, July into August, and soccer doesn't play in the summer. So it's not an issue. Does anybody have any questions? This will be his second football camp. He did one in the spring, no problems. He has insurance that he'll turn in once it's approved. He obviously doesn't know if all of his children are from Lakeville, but he said his last camp, they were all from Lakeville. So that's $2 instead of $10 for a fee.
Where'd they do it in the last spring?
Here, right out in the old soccer fields. Not the old soccer fields, Ted Williams Camp soccer fields.
Yeah.
You can bring them down to Andrew and he can just pass them along. Take one and pass them. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions?
Sorry, which field was it gonna be?
He uses the old Ted Williams Camp fields, whatever soccer usually isn't using, but they shouldn't be using any of them. Because we didn't get any clinic applications from them, did we?
From who?
Soccer?
I haven't seen any.
Okay.
So this is for, I didn't even look at this close. Is this for just a 1-week clinic?
Nope, it's one day, Mondays, 5:30 to 7 from July to August. So it's like a 6 days on one field.
So how did you come up with the $2, or what did you say?
Isn't that a
The clinic fee.
clinic fee for in town?
Well, are we doing, this is not a clinic.
Oh, we did the wrong application.
So is it a clinic he's doing?
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing 6 days on one field for 1 day a week. We can't charge him $24 for that.
Well,
Where the soccer, the camps that come in, right, in the clinics are
the fee was
5 days a week.
Let me double check. I thought let me look at the fee. It's not based on whether they're from Lakeville or not. It's whether or not they have. The fee is based on whether or not they.
For a current league. Tournaments, clinics, camps, $3 per player, including players from visiting teams. I thought we had 2 fees, a fee for in-town use and a fee for out-of-town use.
Well, I thought it was.
Do we have one?
Looking at it now.
We do, we
Or
had a
press
whole
for
table, we
tournament.
voted on it.
So it's $3 per player if the tournament is a league already approved for regular season play, and $12 per player for all other groups.
Okay.
So it would fall in $12 per player.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
Was that the rate that we did last year? Or did you have a rate?
No, it
last
used to be $10.
year?
Because when we get to volleyball, they used an old one. Because it says 2 and 10.
I think we voted on the rate schedule before you guys came on board.
Yeah.
We bumped it up to 3 and 12. Does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we allow, what is this called? Eric Stanley's football camp, Mondays from July through August, total of 6 sessions. 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the old soccer fields in Ted Williams Camp at the clinic fee of $12 per player.
I second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, all aye. Motion passes. Welcome
Who
back,
seconded that?
Eric and Andrew.
Andrew, yeah.
Okay. Number 3, Looney Legacy Foundation. Mr. Looney was a softball coach at the high school for a very long time. And he passed. So his family does a blooper ball tournament every year at John Pond Park. We've never had any problems.
Did I send that out?
No, it's not.
Oh, no, he's not in here.
My bad.
That's all right.
Let me find it.
He doesn't charge a fee to play, he just takes donations to the charity, which I didn't write down.
So do we waive the clinic fee in the past?
We do.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got it here, yeah, Louis Legacy Foundation, the event to be located at John Pond Park, August 9th, with August 10th being a rain date. Event to be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. His description, it's a single-day adult charity blooper ball tournament, 75 to 100 players, 6 to 8 teams. No fee to play, donations are encouraged. We typically use all 3 fields at John Pond Park until early afternoon and then 2 fields up through the end of the day. Plan to have event insurance in place for the tournament.
Yep, as soon as it's finalized, he'll
Right,
send
as
it
soon as
along.
it's finalized, so,
Yeah, like I said, he does it every year and we haven't had any
and,
problems.
and we have not charged because it's a charity.
Right, correct.
The only question I had was, historically, we've had 2 porta potties there. For that many people, is 1 fine?
It's typically 1 porta potty for 50 people. So if he's having 100 people there all day, yeah, he should bring in another.
So just so
Porta
he
potty.
knows that it's
Yep.
different now.
Yep. Anything else?
Make a motion that we approve it.
That we approve the
The Looney,
Legacy Foundation's blooper ball tournament.
yes.
And waive the fee.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All aye. You'll be excited. Okay, discuss and possible vote on an application for tournament of volleyball. Right, so
There's
this
actually
is-
2 tournaments here, there's July 20th and August.
Jaime Velasquez is the 20th, and it's a benefit for cystic fibrosis, I believe, am I
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Oh. Are they both benefits for cystic fibrosis or only one?
Just the August.
No,
July,
the 20th.
To raise money for the expenses of maintaining service.
The first one is
Okay.
maintain volleyball court and equipment on July 20th.
All right, so let's do July 20th first since it's sooner. Any questions?
They're an existing league, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I just noticed that this form was not updated to say $3
Right.
and 12, so
I don't know.
Right. So what does anybody want to do? Any discussion?
Is it
Since it's a charity on the first one, and they're requesting the waiving on, I think that'd be something we should do, just like the Looney Legacy.
Right, so on both of them or just the charity one?
Just the charity one.
Okay.
On the other one, I don't know how this works, where we have voted on approved fees, but where there's a typo on our form, do we honor the form?
This is our only one, right? I would because,
Oh, it feels like the right thing to do, but
right, and they're raising money to put back into the field, into their courts.
okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve. You want them separate? Or one motion?
Yeah, do separate where one's waived and one's not.
Okay, that we approve the request for volleyball tournament donating to the cystic fibrosis charity on August 16th, 2025, and that we waive the per player tournament fee.
A second?
Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All aye.
I'll make another motion that we approve the tournament application for Adult Volleyball League on July 20th, 2025 as their fundraising effort for the league and the courts, and we honor the outdated $2 per player registration fee.
A second it?
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Discuss and possible vote to purchase new picnic tables for Clear Pond Park. Okay, so I forgot last meeting when we voted $1,500 to buy what we needed for Clear Pond Park, I forgot the picnic tables.
Okay.
So, in that paper that I just gave you, well, that Mark just gave you, on the bottom, oh, yep, I didn't take one and pass it along, sorry. On the bottom, it says picnic tables. Mr. Berry would prefer the ones with the metal legs, so they're about $500. They do last longer. We redid 6 picnic tables for like under $200 because we just took the rotted boards off and put new boards right on those legs. And then the total for a wooden one is $150. That's all done at Lowe's. It just needs to be painted. So he would like 6 new picnic tables. So at $500 each, that's $3,000. For 6 wooden picnic tables, that's $900.
They have to be painted every year.
That have to be painted.
Well,
Yeah.
they both do.
Yeah, because
It's
the
just
other
the
one.
difference of the legs.
Right. Right. So what if we did a combination of them? What if we did 3 of each?
Sounds
Is
reasonable.
there a difference of where like they put them? Because obviously the wooden legs, they're rotting out from like the moisture on the ground getting at them.
Yeah. So the 6 that I just redid, the legs weren't the problem because I think they used pressure treated wood for the legs. So
Are
the
these
legs,
150 pressure treat or no?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So that they worked fine. It was the boards on top that were rotting because what happens is at the end of the year they stack the picnic tables. So the picnic tables that were on the bottom face up they weren't rotted. The ones that were flipped over, because when they paint them, they only paint the top.
Yeah.
So the water seeps through and they rot from like
Yeah.
the inside out. So those were the ones that needed to be replaced. So maybe in the future we don't stack them or we paint both sides. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But, so what is everybody's preference? We can do 2, we can do 1, and if you wanna come back to this, we can do that too, and I can go over this whole sheet with you and then we can decide.
Yeah, my first thought is, I mean, if the wood legs weren't the problem of it failing before, why, we could save the money.
We could.
Go all wood.
What was the reason that Doug preferred the metal?
Because they last forever. And they do, but again, you still have to take care of them. Like, I sanded those 6, I painted those 6, but they hadn't been if those legs had been painted, they would be fine, but instead they rusted out and some of them are like cracked and stuff, so even those metal legs, some of them still need to be replaced because they weren't taken care of.
Why are they not covered with a tarp in the winter?
I don't know the answer to that.
Because, I mean, I don't have an outbuilding, but I cover my lawnmower with a tarp and it holds up just fine. Just saying.
Yep, nope.
I don't know, it's up to you all.
Well, put a pin in this and we'll come back to it. All right, Clearpond Park. Amy from Gym Hut. She would like to have their end of the year, not banquet, but outing here for a couple of their teams. 2 to 4 team, Sunday, 7/27 from 2 to 4 for a team get together. They're gonna have long games and bring in an ice cream truck. I already gave her the information for schools out, so she can contact them. There'll be around 100 people. What is everybody's preference?
Do we know if there's a wedding that day? 100 people is a lot of cars, potentially.
There is, I do not know if there is. Sundays usually aren't big on weddings. We can check.
I'll check right now.
That's
Was it
right.
July, what?
7/27.
There is just a shower.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's a wedding shower or a baby shower, but it's
Yeah,
a shower.
doesn't matter.
And it's from 11 to 11, yeah, it's just 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
Sunday.
so that's
So
fine.
the time will be done,
Yep.
yeah.
What is everybody thinking?
This is kind of weird, I think, because anyone in the public can go use the park at any time.
Yes.
What if we're like saying, yes, your group can, are they supposed to be covered by insurance?
Well, my guess is she has the insurance already, so we can ask for that if she'd
Okay.
like, if
Okay.
they'd like. But like you said, anybody can come at any time.
Yeah.
She just, I think, wants to make sure she doesn't get thrown out when she comes. Because we have so many big groups that come and use the park. I've seen school buses here
Mhm.
that come and use the park and they don't even tell us they're coming.
Right.
Never mind ask for permission.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, then it becomes like, is she asking that we reserve an area for them? Because I think if we're gonna do that, we maybe should ask for a donation.
You could ask for a donation.
But if we're just saying, oh, it's the public, you can come, it may or may not be, we can't
Promise, right.
promise it will
That's
be
what
open.
Peter keeps telling everybody.
Yeah.
Off fields are first come, first served.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so if she wants the area sectioned off, which I'm sure she does, because that's 100 people, it's a big area.
It's- if you're planning something, you don't want the risk of like, oh, we're gonna fly by the seat of our pants and hope we can gather here, right?
Right.
Like, they want people to be able to show up somewhere.
Right.
So if it's sectioned off then, is that what we're saying?
You can do a flat fee if you want, or we can just ask for a donation.
I would do a flat fee and then you know what you're getting.
Okay? What would you suggest? 100 people for 2 hours.
You know I'm gonna go high. It's, somebody else should really, someone else should really make a recommendation.
Shoot for the sky. No, I don't know, it's only a couple hours for a couple people. It's like, tournament fee is $2.
100 people, you said?
Yeah.
$1.
And I think that they're, right, so they're a booster club. They're not charging for anything. They're just playing long games and bringing in an ice cream truck, which if they bring in our ice cream truck, which they kind of have to, because he's the only one from permission to be in here, we get 5% of that, right? Because it's a
Okay, so,
function. What if you ask for $50? It's only 50 cents a person.
yeah, that's
I think
reasonable.
that's fine.
Pretty good.
Okay. Hey, anybody wanna make a motion?
Yeah, I'll go. I motion to approve Amber's request of the Gym Hut to host lawn games and have an ice cream truck on Sunday, July 27th, for around 100 people at a cost of $50.
Second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Aye.
All aye. Perfect. Okay, FLAA. So Brian Adams from FLAA would like to use our bigger baseball fields for the bigger kids. So he went on Peter's calendar and saw that field 1 and field 4 were not taken during the week, and asked if he could use fields 1 and 4. So Peter said, first come, first serve, have at it. But he said that for games, you can't do that. You have to schedule. So he wants to reserve them. So he would like to add them to FLAA's field pass, which is on the back of the paper. I believe field 4,
Which one is the one that Samurai uses?
though that's what, I think it's field 4 that Samurai Baseball uses and takes care of.
Yeah, so I'd be a hard no for them getting field 4.
I agree. So what about field 1? Does anybody have a problem with adding field 1 to his field pass? Oh, and I did ask, because Scott said, is this the FLAA team or is this like the Cardinals? And so I reached out and he said, no, it's the Babe Ruth team and their all-star team. It's just with all of those teams playing at the same time, like Freetown doesn't have enough big fields. So they want to come over here and use these fields, which I think is fine.
It's only for the one night, right? But there's
No, it's every night.
from
So, I think it's fine minus field 4, because Samurai pays us rent for it, and they're the ones doing all their own operation and maintenance of it, so.
And improvements
I think
to
they
the
need
whole-
to stay off of field 4.
Yep. Right, Peter, Samurai is on field 4.
Samurai is on field 4, yeah,
Okay.
that's no good. So
All right.
let me just check the. So we're talking about field
1.
And we're looking at what? That's used by Sundays, by men's softball, and Tuesdays, FLA has it.
Tuesdays, they have it already.
Yep.
Okay. so that's
Men's
not a problem.
softball only has the one day.
Sundays, and they only play in the morning till like 1. And I think, didn't he ask for it just during the week?
certain nights, it looks like.
I think so, yeah,
I think so too.
yeah.
So a motion?
I can make a motion, that we allow FLAA baseball to add field one to their field pass. For the days,
For weekday nights.
weekday nights only, Sunday mornings excluded due to men's softball.
I'll second it.
Sorry, we gotta say something about field 4.
No, we're just gonna say
Okay.
no to 4. Field
Okay.
4. Alright, Noel seconded it. Any further discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All aye.
Who seconded that?
Noel.
So I think in notifying them, just a suggestion, this would be a good time to also just remind them that we've already said
Right.
that we're going to review all this,
Yep, in the spring, their
that next year.
contract will be reevaluated.
Right,
I agree.
yeah,
Yep,
to set the, what do you call it, fixed fee thing.
right,
Right.
It's going to be entirely reevaluated,
yes,
because they're really getting such a deal.
yes. All right, number 9, update on bathroom situations at Ted Williams Camp. So the, Loon Pond Lodge bathroom is gonna be, pipe is gonna be redone next week, Monday, Tuesday. They don't have weddings until after, or functions until after the 4th of July, so that will give us a couple of days in case there's a problem, in case there's a problem putting the walkway back. No updates on our bathrooms yet. Clear Pond bathrooms, still no water. That should come the beginning of July. So right now, there's 2 ADA porta potties over there and a hand washing station, because you can't just have one, you have to have a men's room and a ladies' room. So, that's that. Hopefully sooner than later, those will be gone. And we'll get water. That's it. Okay, circle back to Clear Pond. That's it, right, except for Clear Pond? I didn't skip anything. Alright. So, if you start at Clear Pond, that paper that Mark brought, season passes for 2025, we've exceeded our 2025 budget by $430 already. Next year's, we've budgeted $14,000 to bring in season passes. Concession stand, next year we've budgeted $5,000, which was the same as this year, and we made $5,369 so far. We still have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 more days. Swim lessons, our revenue budget was $1,000 this year and next year, and we made $1,500 so far. Group outings, $3,000 was the budget. $3,000? No, I think it was $300. $300, sorry, extra zero, makes a big difference. And it's $300 plus $75 already this year. Gate fees are $6,000 next year. This year, they were $7,800 we were looking for in gate fees, and we're short by over $3,000, which isn't a surprise because we've gotten more season passes. So we still have 4 days, but I don't think that's gonna matter. Family activities, the budget for this year was $150, which we made that plus $267. Next year, it's $350. So that brings next year's Clear Pond budget, revenue budget, to $26,650. Salaries. This year in 2025, our budget was $10,000 and we made we've overspent by $500, $10,500. Our guards, this year, our budget was $35,000 and we're just making that budget. Attendance, the budget was $18,500 for this year, and we still have $11,000 left over. Next year, that budget is, 2026, is $7,000, which should be fine, because that's what we actually paid this year, because we have decreased hours. And the same thing with the guards, it's $23,000. And I split it up to give Clear Pond the budget for the rest of this year, because you have to remember it's split. So $10,000 for the rest of 25, and then $2,500 to open next season in 2026. So expenses for 2025, these are harder because not all of them are strictly Clear Pond. The only one is food services, which was $4,500, and we still have $1,500 left, which is a good thing, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Custodial things and park activities, the budget next year is $4,000 for all the parks. This year it was $6,000. So out of that, I gave Clear Pond $1,800 to use for their park activities, because we have Lakeville Day, we have Trunk or Treat, we have Music in the Pines, and if the Christmas event goes through, so we'll have 4 events actually in the park this coming year and next year. So that would be good. So as it stands, our revenue is $26,650 for the 2026 fiscal year. Salaries alone for Clear Pond is $42,500. All the other expenses comes to $6,150, making it $48,000, which is a loss of $22,000. If every employee that we have now, which is 9 of them, works 40 hours a week for the rest of these 9 weeks, it'll be $58,700 is what the salaries will be, and that will be a loss of $38,200 for the park. The $38,000 sounds like a lot, especially where we decreased our hours, but we've lost like $34,000 2 years ago. Last year was a little bit less, but the town gave us the 17.5. So they lost 17.5 and we lost about 17.5, but this year we take every loss on ourselves. So that's just something to keep in your mind and think of what you want to do about that. So picnic tables, back to that. Metal legs, $500, or the wooden ones for $150. A freezer. When we lost power the other day, for those 3 hours, right, Andrew? Our freezer, we have 3 freezers, 2 in the snack shack and 1 that holds the extra ice creams in the kids' room. Their freezer died and never went back on. So all the extra ice cream was lost in their freezer. So that brings us back to it's a good thing that we have $1,000 left in the food services, because it's gonna replace all the ice cream that was just lost. Yep. So those are the big expenses coming up for the rest of the year at Clear Pond. Then we have the roofing that was just done. So when you guys leave here, if you want to drive through and see our office roof, and if you feel like getting out and looking at the gazebo, those are done, and Clear Pond should be done tomorrow. The sprinklers at Commissioner's Field, haven't been on this whole season. I thought they were, and then Josh stopped me a few weeks ago and said they haven't been on. So the people who put them in don't do that anymore, didn't want to come fix it. I called another company that was highly recommended in town. They were like, yep, we're 2 weeks out. I was like, all right, put me on the list. They called back 2 days later and said, yeah, we can't do it. So I had to find somebody else. So it turns out that the soccer club is now fertilizing their own fields. So I talked to him and he's like, hey, any idea when the water is going to be on? And I'm like, no, you've got a sprinkler guy to recommend. And he's like, I do have a sprinkler guy, which turns out to be the same guy that my husband had just said, why don't you call this guy? So I'm like, all right. So I called him. He came out, well, actually, soccer guy, Lemiere Landscaping, called him, and he met me there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we looked at it, killed some bees, because they're everywhere. And he said, I'll come back on Monday and fix it. And he did. So we have to get that bill. Don't know what it is yet. Didn't really matter because he was the only one who was going to do it. And then he came over to Ted Williams Camp to fix a couple things that Ryan had pointed out. And he came in and he's like, hey, you guys must have forgot to shut the sprinklers off because there's more water in it today than there was yesterday. And this was after our 100-degree days. That was Tuesday and Wednesday yesterday. and it just keeps filling up with water even though the sprinklers aren't on. So we can't do anything there until it dries out so we can see exactly where the water is coming from. So I don't know how long that's going to take, but he has that to do too. And then the only other thing is, just so you're aware, is the repair and maintenance, which that would fall under. We're over by $9,000, which is fine because we make it up other places. Like if you look, supplies, we have $1,800 left. Groundskeeping, we have $15,000 left. Parks, activities, and events, we have $4,000 left, and we have facility improvements for $21,000 left. So we have plenty of money left, so you don't need to panic over that number. Any questions? That was a lot to throw at you.
I have a recommendation that,
Okay.
okay, buy the wooden picnic tables, but with the proviso that you get tarps, get enough tarps, and see if properly covering them through the bad weather, the winter, they may just be fine. They may hold up just fine.
Okay, is that your motion? You get a motion?
I make a motion that we purchase the wooden tables with tarps large enough to cover them for the winter. So they're not just out in the weather.
Okay, do we have a second?
Yeah, my second we purchased the wood and the tarps.
So enthusiastic.
Any further discussion?
No.
So, I guess I just have some concern if Doug's
Okay.
been there for years and he's asking for the metal and has the belief that they last longer. Like, is there any, I don't know, spec sheet on the two that says that the metal lasts longer? Okay.
I don't think so.
Who's gonna do the painting?
I have bought a 5-gallon jug of paint from Lowe's because it was on sale for $50. So it's a nice pretty brown. And when I got to the register, it rang up $363. So they had to come mark it down to $50 for me because that's what it said. So I felt like I got a really good deal. So we can paint as many picnic tables as that 5-gallon bucket of paint will paint. And the kids, the attendants usually do that stuff. If it's like slow and stuff, they usually
Yeah.
do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And I was gonna do them, but Doug assured me that the kids were gonna do them.
Okay.
So we'll have to see.
Okay. No more discussion.
All in favor of 6 wooden picnic tables and 2 giant tarps?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All aye. All right, is that it?
Did we have to look at this budget at all that was handed out?
You can if you want to, or you can just take it home and peruse it. So this is the budget from, was it today?
Yep.
Yep, so it's from today. So those are all the numbers from today. This budget ends in 4 days.
Right.
So if there's any extra money in here that we need something that it needs to be spent, we need to spend it in the next 4 days. I'm not saying go crazy. I'm just saying if there's something that we need, there's not enough for a playground.
But is there enough for a freezer?
There's enough for a freezer. Yep. More than enough, because the freezer was only like $600.
I mean, I honestly haven't been to Clear Pond other than the site walk we did about the
Yep.
easement. Are there like Adirondack chairs scattered around, hammocks?
We have no Adirondack chairs. They would be nice on the special beach, not the special beach, but the second beach that we're trying to rent out for birthdays and stuff, Adirondack chairs would be nice to put over there.
Maybe we should buy some if we have money that's going away in 4 days.
Or maybe you should motion to buy some.
Okay, how big the beach is? Like how many chairs would make sense?
4 or 6.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we buy 6 Adirondack chairs for the Clear Pond Beach.
Could I make a recommendation that if we can find some that are composite and not wood, because there are a lot of them that are composite and they're cheap, and it would be less expensive than wood.
Okay. Do we have a second to buying 6 Adirondack chairs?
Second.
Okay. Now, Noel, would you like to amend that to say composite chairs?
Yes, 2 minute, it's
Do
composite.
we have a second on composite chairs?
Can you define what you mean by like, I know what you mean material wise,
Not the
but
plastic and not the wood.
like some of those are very expensive. Like you don't mean like polywood, right? Because they're
Well-
also, you don't want to see them walk away.
That would be fun.
No, it really wouldn't. I mean, I have the rockers and they're expensive.
Yeah, I hear you, they are. So maybe do
Well, we can try. We can look and see what we
See-
can
see
find.
what the fee
I'll
is.
see what I
So
can
do we
find.
want the motion to be up to a certain dollar value?
Yeah, do that.
And I
So
don't
add
know, I don't know how you protect against people walking away with them other than cameras, the cameras. that are-
Yeah.
Yeah, which is all.
I know people do walk away with
$100 a
things.
chair.
Yeah,
Okay.
Uh,
So $600.
up to $100 a chair.
that sounds reasonable.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. All right.
Anything else we should buy in 4 days?
If there's anything like, once this is all settled and put in the books and it's like certified that we're all good, we can always, if there's something bigger that we need or we can think about, we can have put it on the town meeting to pull more money out of our savings and put it in here for a certain reason
Okay.
and then it'll be ready in the spring. So
Yep.
anything that you wanna do next year, we can keep that in mind. Because I think there's enough in next year's budget that starts in 4 days that we don't have to worry about it well past November. So we can look at it again in
What-
October.
Sorry, what about Clear Pond? Last time Deb was here, he mentioned some things that aren't on this list. Is the sink?
Like what?
He needed a new sink.
Yep.
That's taken care of.
Yep, so we had allotted $1,500 to buy all that stuff.
Okay.
So I ended up spending $1,100. We got the 3-bay sink, we got the faucet, we got 3 new toilets, we got the urinal flusher, we got a few other things.
Cool.
Volleyball net. Okay. The piping and stuff still isn't in because we don't have water, so the plumber's not in a rush because we have no water.
Yep.
But I did talk to Andrew, Town Administrator Andrew, and he said there's still money left in the water ARPA fund to do the pipes.
Okay.
So, fingers crossed on that one. Okay, liaison updates.
Okay.
Anybody?
Okay, so CPC wants to know, has the engineering gone out to bid?
Nope.
Is it going to go out to bid?
I don't believe so. Peter, I sent you that email, right, asking you to put the John Pond specs on letterhead? If I didn't, if I didn't, I will resend that to you.
Yeah.
So if you can do that and we can get that over to Andrew. Nope, it'll go over next week to Andrew.
Next week, okay, to Andrew, an RFP?
It's not going for
Or is
RFP.
it- what
No,
is
below
it?
the
It's a-
threshold,
It
right?
goes to a bid? What's happening? Tell me.
We voted to recommend it go to Zenith,
Okay,
so we'll have to see if Zenith is up for taking it at that price to do those things.
Okay, so you're waiting to hear back from Zenith?
I don't even think they've been approached yet. It has to go to Andrew first.
Okay, so Andrew has to get contacted, and who's doing?
And then it probably has to go to the select board.
So Peter's gonna contact.
Peter's
Andrew?
gonna write it up because they like things fancy, so it has to go on letterhead.
Okay, and if I could get a copy of that when that happens, that'd be great. Then I'll just put it with my papers and give it to them. And then they'll know, where things are
Yeah.
standing.
So it, once the minutes come out, it should be in the minutes.
Which minutes was this in? Was this in
Last ones
month's?
that you weren't here. I sent you those, right?
I
My
haven't.
minute notes?
I haven't had time to look at them yet.
No, but I did send them.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, okay.
I got it.
That's fine. Okay, any other liaison updates? No, nothing? Who has football?
Not me. That is me.
That is you.
Yep.
Are they out there every night?
No. I need to reach out with them to them and just make sure everything's going okay. But I saw them there on a Thursday. There weren't a lot of cars, and they weren't on field 3.
In their
They
own
were
area?
like to the back and right,
Okay.
and seemed organized.
Yeah,
Seemed to be going fine.
right. Cause we got a check from them, right? So they're all paid up, Andrew? Football, the,
Sabres?
yep,
Yep, that's what it's called. Yep.
okay. The only other thing we have to do, but it's not gonna be tonight because I didn't get it. We have one more hire at Clear Pond, another lifeguard. We went from having 0 lifeguards to having 8 or 9 lifeguards.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So, I'm into attendance.
Oh, I guess I do have one liaison update from 2 of my people. So, Co-ed Blooper Ball reached out to me just to make sure they understood what Peter needed regarding their application and the
Mhm.
check and everything. So we got that squared away. But then they asked about the bases. So Parks doesn't provide the bases. Softball buys those, and they're very expensive.
Yeah, $1,000 each.
Yes. So, Women's Blooper Ball had reached out, and then they came to an agreement with softball that they would give them like a donation to the league to use them for the season. So, Blooper Ball, men's, co-ed, whatever, was fine with the same thing. But
So they're gonna donate to you to use the bases.
yeah, they get torn up, and they are very
Yeah.
expensive to replace. But everyone seemed happy and fine.
Fine with that. Okay. Okay, anybody else? No? Anything else? I did just wanna run this by you. By everybody. Peters. So the town is looking into doing a staff appreciation day here. Well, not here, at Ted Williams Camp and Loon Pond Lodge. So I just wanna throw that out to you and just make sure everybody's good with that.
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay. Alright, I didn't want you to be blindsided, just want you to know. And tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I'm sure that you're working. There's a Christmas
Oh,
meeting, but
Okay.
I'll take notes and I'll send them to you.
okay, sounds good.
Alright, nothing else. Our next meeting is July,
I think 10th, is that correct?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yep.
July
Do we wanna
10th
do it
and
at
then
6:30 or
24th.
7?
I prefer 6:30, but if you guys wanna do it at 7, whatever's better for you, cause it doesn't really matter.
Can you make it, can everyone make it at 6:30? Is that a problem?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay. Okay, we'll stay 6:30.
Great.
Here,
Yep. Yep, perfect, okay. Let's see. All right. The motion to end the meeting at 7:50.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you for tuning in.
awesome.
Thank you, LakeCAM.
Thank you, Lane.